Good morning. Today is Thursday, September 12th. It's probably about 11:30 a.m. Again, my name is Michael Amusio. I'm going to continue on PTSD, family, and support. Today what I want to talk about is when a child's parent has PTSD, a veteran or non-veteran. Today, mostly speak about veterans with PTSD and their children, but it still does apply to non-veterans or non-military. So we'll get started. Parent symptoms are directly linked to their children's responses, the child's response. So how we act is what our children learn, and they start reacting the same way. Symptoms impact children in many ways. Common problems experienced by children of veterans or other adults with PTSD pretty much mirror the same kind of problems the veteran or individual with PTSD has. So we're going to go through, I got an article, I'm just going to hit some topics on it and then we're going to talk about them. How might a parent's PTSD symptoms affect his or her children? And it's going to affect it differently because your PTSD is different from mine, is different from the next person, and so on down the line. So everybody's PTSD is unique to that individual. The circumstances surrounding that trauma that we've each experienced in our own lives, we respond to them differently than other people in similar situations. Some people don't ever get PTSD from a perceived trauma that some of us experience. And others, like myself and those of you watching, do ultimately gain PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, related to the trauma. So PTSD includes a range of symptoms that can have an effect on the family members. Following are some examples of how some kinds of PTSD symptoms can affect a child. Re-experiencing symptoms. So what winds up happening is that how I react to PTSD, my children get to experience that. So they get to see how I react in perfect settings. Thank you. That was my good friend Mukulgi coming in to see if I was okay with get everything set up. We changed some things in how we start the videos, so he just wanted to make sure I was set up and running okay. So we'll continue. So how I respond when I have a traumatic episode or re-experiencing some PTSD symptoms is kind of what my children get to observe on a daily basis. And over a course of time, they'll start reacting in those similar situations the same way I do. So, for instance, let's say I go to the shopping center. I don't want to name any shopping centers, but I go to any shopping center and it's super crowded. Now, I'm kind of hypervigilant, looking all over the place. I'm always looking for easy exits, not so crowded aisles. I'll shop in those aisles first and so on. So my children kind of do the same thing. They'll tell me, hey, Dad, that aisle's too busy. Let's go over here and shop over here. When things get too hectic, then we'll go over into the vegetable aisle, which is usually a wide open area because all the shelving is low. So kind of give myself some room to breathe. Well, my children do the same thing now. So, and that's not really cool. It's not the best scenario because they learn all of my negative actions in the community or when I'm around people or so on and so forth. People who have PTSD often re-experience traumatic events through memories or dreams. Can happen quickly, can seem to come on out of nowhere. Symptoms often come with strong feelings of grief, guilt, fear, anger. Sometimes experience could be so strong that you might think the trauma is happening again. We've all experienced that. These symptoms can be scary not only for you, but also for your children. Children might not understand what's happening and why it's happening. They may worry that about their parent, or worry that the parent cannot take care of them. So, I guess you have to put yourself in the mind of a child for a little bit. I'll use me for example. I come home, I'm out working when I was working, and I had a rough day. I come home, I sit down, and, I'm kind of just zoning out, not really paying attention. My kids are trying to tell me about how school went, what they did, and I kind of give them a glance and kind of just look away. At that moment in time, if I'm experiencing or something triggered, my PTSD, I'm not interested in what they're doing, and it hurts and it's wrong to say that. But there are times I'm not interested because I'm so self-absorbed in my PTSD traumas. A color, it doesn't make any sense why or what triggers mess with me, or you for that matter. Some of the stuff we don't know until it actually happens. I have identified some things. I cannot listen to the Marine Corps hymn. One day I hope to be able to do that and get through it. But I can't. I leave every single time I hear the first few bars of that song starting. I guess something internal doesn't allow me to do that at this point. Children kind of do the same thing. They'll mirror your behavior. They don't want to go to the store. Or when they do go to the store, my kids are preteens. I got a 13 and 12-year-old. Normal children, I don't say normal, a typical child would want to go run and do their own thing in the store. My guys don't really want to do that. They don't want to leave our side, my wife and me, or we'll separate. My wife will take one, I'll take the other, and we'll go shopping through the store. I kind of have a set course, run through the store that way. You kind of make it, I guess, somewhat easier for yourself. But again, these are behaviors that we're teaching our children. So I found my safe places in town that I'm comfortable shopping in. I'm comfortable going to the store by myself. Other stores, my wife got to go with me. I need the support of somebody who knows what's going on with me in case something happens and I, get triggered somehow. So my boys learn that. We'll go to this shopping center at this time of the day because, there's not a lot of people there and the aisles are bigger. There's more room to walk. The color has a lot to do with stuff. I don't want to go to this store because it's too blue or too green or whatever. It just does something to internally, it just makes the environment just not safe for me. So I don't know why, but it does. But my children do the same thing, is the point. Some other stuff is avoidance and numbing symptoms. Excuse me. Because the re-experiencing symptoms are so upsetting, people with PTSD try not to think about the event. You may also avoid places and things that remind you of the trauma. Well, sometimes we don't know what is going to remind us of the trauma or trigger the event. We kind of got the gist of what the event took place in, but that doesn't necessarily mean I have to, be in a specific room like that again. A color or a sound or, right after that event, other events took place in relations to it. So I don't know what's going to trigger anything. A song does it. Back in the day when I was in the Corps, it was 70s. So 70s music. Sometimes I'll be driving down the street in a car and a 70s song will pop up and it'll just take me back. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But that happens to the children too. They get numb as well. To us, because I mean, when we have PTSD and when it's really flaring and we're having a bad time and, we're trying to deal with it and get through it, one, we're not readily open with our children about our past problems. They just see the results of the PTSD. They see us acting out the traumatic events, acting out the behaviors that we used as coping skills. They don't understand them. I wouldn't readily sit down and tell my children, hey, I got PTSD and here's how and why. Although I am live streaming now, it is out there, a time-stamped video forevermore. My kids can dig it up and watch it. And I'm okay with that because then they can ask me questions. They do know I have PTSD. They don't know the extent or the traumatic events and all of that. But in time, I'm sure they will. And then we'll have that conversation. But I guess your children need to know to some degree that something's going on and it's related to a trauma or a traumatic event that you experienced in the military, in everyday life, you as a child, whatever trauma for whomever, whether you're a veteran or a civilian, it doesn't matter. Your traumatic event that caused your PTSD, if you have a family or siblings or anybody else that you associate with on a daily basis, they're going to see your mood changes and your patterns, and they're going to see different things. And they're going to learn how to react and respond to you because your moods are always there under certain situations. And if you're around somebody long enough, you're going to know that, you act this way in this setting and so on and so on. And everybody else is going to understand that as well. The idea is to break that pattern. That's what all the treatments are in place to do. Help you break the old patterns that don't readily work for you anymore. Those old coping skills that now hinder your life, they used to help. Our brains are great tools. They are always guarding us. Sometimes the way they guard us is, through behaviors that have been learned over time that seem to work. They're always defending, they're always protecting. The brain protects us. Traumatic memories. Wait a second, this kind of reminds me of something, so raise your red flag. So we're on higher alert, and that's okay. I mean, we're human. We need to be alerted when there's real problems, real dangers, and so on. But our brain doesn't decipher what's real and what's not real. We get to make that decision, but more often than not, we're led by a feeling. A feeling or an emotion is exactly that. It's a feeling or an emotion. It's not an action. What we do with that feeling and emotion is what determines the action we take next. Typically with people with PTSD that have not had any treatment, the action is normally a coping skill that is, for the most part, a negative coping skill. Some people will drink, some people will take drugs, some people will cut, some people will harm themselves in some way, act out violently, act out passively. It doesn't matter. The point is, we take an action on an emotion as a knee-jerk response versus, is this real? Is it really happening now? Is this, going back to my time of being traumatized? I guess for the most part, what you have to think, you have to ask yourself, is the likelihood of that specific trauma happening again today? What is the likelihood? For me, what is the likelihood of me being interrogated by 2 Marines on a base in a small room going to be like today? The likelihood is it's not going to happen. So that's a good way to look at things. It's an easy way to say, hey, I'm not going to re-experience that event ever again, which is true. Now, that's not to say that I could not at some point in the future have a similar event. But the likelihood, what's the likelihood of that happening? You have to ask yourself these things. What's the likelihood of going food shopping and having your traumatic event happen? for you guys on the battlefield, for combat veterans, what's the likelihood that you're going to have mortars coming at you at a shopping center, or whatever your traumatic event was? The likelihood of it happening at a shopping center, at your kid's ball game, on American soil, at home. What's the likelihood of these things really happening? And the answer always is pretty unlikely. But that doesn't take away the fact that our PTSD and our mind will still want to get into that protective mode, bring up our past traumas, and, defend us or protect us. So we have to work through that stuff. Hyperarousal symptoms. People with PTSD tend to be anxious and on edge. PTSD might have trouble sleeping, paying attention, grouchy, angry, much of the time. And I agree to some degree with that. When my PTSD is really acting up, I am grouchy for the most part all the time. But I'm not always grouchy. This kind of makes it seem like you're just grouchy 100% of the time. Now, if you just came back from overseas and you have some issues, I could see how you might have some of these symptoms more consistently than others. But hyperarousal is hyperarousal. I still experience that. At night, I walk around my property all night long. I don't know why. I can't figure it out. But I'm out there when everybody's sleeping, walking the corners of my property to make sure that it's safe. I know it's safe. But if I don't do it, I can't relax. So that's a hyperarousal, action to something. But I do it. Does it hurt me? Does it hurt anybody else? Probably not. But it's also not a good habit to continuously do because, one, I got to learn to sleep without having to go walk the corners of my property to ensure that it really is just dark out there and there's nothing else lurking in the darkness. It looks the same at night as it does during the day. The only difference is it's dark. So, for example, acting out, when you're hyper aroused, you get grouchy. It can make a parent seem mean or angry. Okay, so we're still working with kids here. Since they don't understand the symptoms of PTSD, children may wonder whether the parent loves them. So when I act out and I have my little guys, they come home from school and they say, "What? Dad's in a mood." And if Dad's in a mood, Mom's in a mood because we're not communicating all that well. So the boys, they kind of come in and are quiet. And they'll go to their mom and ask to do things. Every now and then they'll come to me and, "Hey, can I do this?" And then you tell them, "Yeah, well, why would you ask that?" Well, they see you. Well, you looked kind of upset today. I don't know, did you and Mom have an argument? No, we didn't have an argument. I'm just not feeling all that well today. And I kind of try to drop it, but my boys, over time they've understood. They see a big improvement now because I've went into the program. I've learned different coping skills. I've learned how to work through some of the issues. One of the things that I'll get into in a little bit here is mindfulness. I'll talk about that in a few seconds or a few minutes. I just want to get through this piece first. So, how does your child respond? The thing we're looking at is how children respond to us. Most kids look to us for guidance. They look to us for acceptance, approval. And when we don't readily give that, they internalize that. They take that upon themselves as, "Dad don't love me no more," or "He's mad at me," or "Mom's mad at me," or whomever, whatever your case, male or female. They see things kind of black and white. If I'm showing a lack of interest, they see it as, "Daddy don't care." And that's not, that couldn't be further from the truth. I care a whole lot about my kids. Hence why I'm sitting here talking to you guys. Because I know you care, but somebody needs to point out these things to you. so that you can explore these things. Your child is a little mini you. If you look at their actual behavior, they don't look the same all the time, but they're acting out, they're doing things in relation to your behaviors in the home or out in public when your children are around you. So that's the piece I'm trying to drive home today. Children are just mirror images. They want to parrot everything we do because they want to be like us. They want to find a way to connect with us. Okay? If dad doesn't like going to the store, let's encourage dad not to go to the store. Let's go to the ballpark and something. Well, I got to go to the store. I got to buy food. So you get your children trying to deflect your behaviors by trying to avoid going where they know you go. That gets you triggered. And that's a tough responsibility for a child to have, to try and curb your behaviors so that they can feel comfortable, so they can feel love, so they can feel like it's not their fault. And you don't want your child connecting with you in negative ways so that they can feel like they're connecting with you. You got to work on the PTSD part. Be inclusive with your kids. I'm doing that now with my wife and kids. We're inclusive in my treatment. That's why I started this group. That's why I started this live stream. Families need to be inclusive. We're working on getting other families together so that we can all be inclusive. The Warrior Healing Center is a huge family of veterans that understand everybody is inclusive here. Okay, you come here, come as you are. There's no perceived expectations for you coming to the Warrior Healing Center. You come dressed as you are, feeling how you feel. Come with an open mind. People here are readily available and willing to engage, say hello, talk, make you feel at home. This morning here at the Warrior Healing Center was bagels and brew. Veterans, come on down. I think it's from 9 to 11. It's just about over. If not, it is over. I went there for a little bit, had some great conversations with some other veterans. Just great time just sitting and chatting. So Thursdays, 9 to 11, every Thursday is bagels and brew. Veterans, come on down. Open invitation. Come down, enjoy, socialize, introduce yourself. I'm here. Everybody else that a part of the Warrior Healing Center is here. People that are new come in. Some new people came in today. It's a really cool place. But you're accepted there. So I don't want to get off track. Let's stay with the children here. How do children respond? Child might feel and behave like their parents as a way of trying to connect. We just went over that. They might show some of the same symptoms as the parent with PTSD. Again, we teach them this unconsciously, but we do. We teach them our behaviors in situations. Great example for me. I'm working on it. I'm much better at it. But every now and then it'll catch me. Driving in a car, in a parking lot, you just know that person is going to be pulling out in front of you. And they do. And then they yell at you because you're sitting there waiting for them. Well, in the past, I didn't take that all too well. I would colorfully tell them what I thought about their stupid move. Okay, but my kids watched all this stuff, and my wife gets embarrassed, and it was just a bad scene all the way around. And then we drive home, not a word said in the car the whole way, and so I'm 20 miles from town. Okay, so it just doesn't work. You set these expectations that dad's driving, he's just a jerk behind the wheel. When somebody does something wrong, he's really going to blast them. So your kids kind of do the same thing. You're driving down the road, you're actually having a good day, and somebody does something that you didn't catch. Dad, look at that idiot. Look what they did. They're just a jerk. We teach this stuff every day. Daily living. So we have to work on what we do and say, especially when we're around our children. But it doesn't just work if we are trying to work on it just around our children. You got to do it in all walks of life. I guess which brings me to mindfulness. I'm going to read the definition. Okay, the quality of state of being conscious or awareness of something. That's number one. Number two is the one that we really need to focus on. A mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations, and it's used as a therapeutic technique. So what do I mean by that? So that idiot that just cut me off, acknowledge it. Yep, there's an idiot. Yep, he cut me off, but I'm not going to focus on it. I'm going to mindfully keep my mind on what I was doing. Drive into Hobby Lobby to get some craft items for my wife, or drive into the food store to get food. But I'm going to acknowledge that that happened. I'm not going to engage thought process on it. I'm just going to let it be. I'm going to mindfully take control of what I'm thinking about and not get sidetracked with all the things around me. Acknowledge, yep, there's a bird. It flew by. I acknowledge, the bird flew by. Get back on what I was supposed to be getting on. Mindfully, one thought. What is my one thought that I'm focusing on? And I'm going to stay with that. Talking to my wife, my kid's yelling in my ear. Yes, my child's yelling in my ear. I might say, I hear you. Give me a moment to finish talking with your mom, but I'm going to go back to focusing on my wife. And that's kind of what the mindfulness piece is. So I just wanted to bring that up because it does play an important role in our behavior, especially when our children, see us and observe us. We need to get more focused on what we're doing. Child might take the adult role to fill in for the parent with PTSD. Have you had that before, when your child tries to be the mom or dad because you're checked out with your trauma and your PTSD has got you sort of incapacitated while you're having your moment? Child acts too grown up for his or her own age. So in essence, child doesn't have a childhood. Child is forced to become a parent long before they ever even find a mate. So you don't want your children to become adults before they've experienced being a child. Children need to experience childhood things in a safe environment where they know their parents love them. We know we love our children. We do. You do. I know you do. We don't present that all the time because we're so caught up in our own stuff. PTSD pretty much encapsulates you into your own mind, working on keeping you safe. Well, you're a parent, okay? Keeping you safe, you have to keep yourself safe, but you have to look at it. Like I said at the beginning of this video, is this really going to happen again? You have to really answer that question and be honest with yourself, okay? If it's not really going to happen again, the odds are a mortar is not going to land in this building, and the odds are pretty good that it's not ever going to happen, okay? And I use that for an example. I wasn't a combat vet, but for you combat vets, bullets whizzing past you, okay? Is that really going to happen? What are the odds of that happening? All right. Now, if you can honestly say the odds are like high 90s, then I'd probably move out of that town. But if you can sit there and be honest with yourself and say, the odds of that same situation that traumatized you happening again are minimal, if at all, then that's where you need to start your focus. When the trauma comes up, is this really going to happen again? And the other thing is, my trauma caused my PTSD. My mind uses that trauma to I guess, fabricate protective situations. Well, that looks like a threat, so we got to remind ourselves of what happened in 1980 and see that as the same level of threat. Okay, that's what our mind is doing. It's protecting us, And when we do that, we fail to protect our child. We fail to allow our children to be children. We're so self-caught up in something that's more than likely not going to happen. But what is going to happen is your child is there standing in front of you. Your child is in the home wanting to be a child. What is going to happen when you focus on your PTSD and don't get the help for it, your child goes through all of these same symptoms with you. They grow up too quick. They really don't have a childhood. And if they do, it's not a happy one. It's one of walking on eggshells. The last video I spoke about that. It's one of, I know Dad's not doing so good today. I'll take the trash out. I'll do this. I'll do that. Kids have chores. But a kid's chore is never my responsibility. Okay? What is mine to do is mine to do as a parent. It is never a chore for my children to take on my roles. Ever. Nor yours. Okay? So we have to start focusing on our children. Your daughter, I don't have any daughters. I would love to have had a daughter. We're working on adopting. But fathers with daughters, your daughter wants to, dad's their hero, Are you a hero to your daughter? Or is your daughter trying to be a grown-up adult and help you through, your issues? They don't need to be doing that. When was the last time you sat down and really played with your kids? With kids' games. My boys now, they're into computers. We got some outside games, bikes and stuff. We play with those as well. But, I'm engaging with my children, childhood stuff, childhood games, because they need that. They need to experience a childhood. We already know being an adult sucks. There's way too much responsibility, especially when you have a family, a house, bills. The kids will get there. Let them be a kid. Problems continue into teen years. Okay, I've kind of been talking the gambit here. All of this stuff happens throughout the entire time the child is growing up. But some things that happen, they worsen, because the younger a child gets fed into our PTSD symptoms, the more they're embedded in their lives as well. PTSD doesn't just traumatize or affect the individual that was originally traumatized by it. It affects everybody around you. Your nuclear family is affected 100%. Okay? Then your outside, your in-laws and other siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, whatever, they don't come around as much. You don't mind that because you don't want nobody coming around. But the family does because they want to see their, relatives. Then the community, then your job. So it just snowballs, just keeps growing, all right, until you build this shell that nobody wants to go around or be around you, and you don't want to be around nobody else. But your kids take on that persona too. They live that kind of lifestyle. So we got to focus on making the kids feel like kids, feel loved, and do things with them, engage them. Okay, I'm not saying, go help be a coach on your kid's baseball team, but go to the practice. If you got to sit off on the side a little bit, that's the first step. You don't have to dive right in and become, dad of the year or mom of the year. You don't need to do that. What you need to do is take baby steps. You need to take baby steps to working and allowing your children to do the kid things that kids need to do. That's how they build up that's how they figure out who they are. You don't want them to figure out who they are based on your behavior with PTSD, because you already know what they're going to be like when they grow up. They're going to have the same behaviors you do. They're going to see that you drink. They're going to see that you drug. They're going to see, that you're just mad at everybody. Whatever you do, they're going to mirror that, because that's what mom or dad does because of their PTSD. That's what they're allowing their trauma to do. That's what they're feeding down to us kids all the time. They learn this stuff. Why would they learn anything different if you're not teaching them anything different? Why would they feel anything different if you're not showing them the love that you need to show them, even when your PTSD is kicking up? Like I said, when you're having more traumatic episodes, you need to question yourself about the mindfulness stuff. What is my real focus right now? Is it the event from 38 years ago? If it's not, I see you. Goodbye. I'm not thinking about that right now. I'm focusing on my child. I'm focusing on playing badminton. I hate the game. Okay, I'm getting too old to run around and catch some stupid bird that don't want to fly where you want it to, or hit it. But my kids love it. So I'm out there playing with them. Do I show that I don't like it? No. I'm out there laughing and enjoying myself, and I'm praising them when they knock the ball down that I can't hit it, which is almost every time because I can't move that quick anymore. But the point is, I am mindfully focusing on my children at that point in time. If I have a traumatic or a memory come through or something, there was, oh yeah, okay, I had that memory. Good. All right, serve the birdie, or it's my turn to serve. I'm going to get back to playing badminton. I'm going to acknowledge that it was there and then get back to what I was doing in whatever it is. If you're cooking, if you're out driving, if you're riding bikes, I don't care what you're doing. If an intrusive thought comes through, just acknowledge it's there. It takes effort. It really does take effort to be one-minded, to think about something and stay focused on it. You know, the fact that I'm saying try it and do it, everything else in the world is going to jump in there right then. But that's okay. Yep, I know I got to go to the store, but I'm going to focus on, this thing right here, whatever it is. Pick one topic and focus on it. And then watch how much everything else in life tries to run past your brain and get in the way of you focusing on that thing, whether it's a book or a sandwich or a star in the sky, it doesn't matter. Focus on one thing and just keep seeing the thoughts come through and acknowledging that they're there and just let them go away and get right back to thinking about whatever it is you're thinking about. The more you do it, the better you get at it. Everything takes practice. Your PTSD, your behaviors, I didn't just become a jerk. Over the years, it grew, and I got really good at it. I got good at being me. I got good at finding an excuse for everything because I didn't want to put myself in that situation because I just know what's going to happen all the time. And you know what? It doesn't happen all the time, but I've made myself believe that it's going to happen all the time. Like I said, I got to Patagonia Lake first time this year. First time I've been to a lake 25 years. The point is, I started taking steps. Now, you're going to be perfect all the time? No, hell no. Ain't going to happen. You're going to screw up. Everybody does. But you know what? Okay, yeah. I messed up there, but I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to give it its space, its acknowledgement. I'm going to know that it's there, and I'm going to go back to what I was doing. And I'm going to work harder to fix those things. So let's see, there's some pieces here on how parents can help their children. Now this came from the VA. So how you can help your children. Be inclusive with fun stuff. Get involved. Be a part of your child's life. Be the mom or dad that you can be. Okay? Yes, PTSD is real. Yes, trauma is trauma. Yes, this happened. Yes, yes, yes. You can yes yourself to death over all of these things. But at the end of the day, yes, your child is observing you all day, every day. Yes, your child is growing up. Yes, your child is learning these behaviors. If you do nothing, your child will be you when they're an adult because you taught them to do it. So I guess what you have to ask yourself is, do I want my child, that little baby that came into the world that I loved and raised all the way up until my traumatic event, do I want that child to be like me when they're an adult because I didn't do my part in helping my child not be like me? I didn't do my part to get the treatment and the help I needed so that I can be a better parent, a better husband, a better person in the community. You know, we're not bad people at all. We didn't ask for this trauma. I didn't ask to wake up and think about the past. You know, there's a poem out there, you know, it's not me not wanting to let go of the past, it's the past not wanting to let go of me. There's some truth to that. But again, if you take this mindfulness stuff and you use it and you make it an exercise daily, then your past can't control you because you won't give it the ability to do so. You'll give the past the acknowledgement that, yep, that was in the past. But today is today. My children are here now. I need to focus on them. I need to make sure that they're happy, that they're safe, that they're learning the things that they should be learning. Most of all, that they're being able to be kids, that you're getting involved and engaged with these children so that they can go out and do kid things. You know, they want to join sports. Great. It's so much better when you go in and watch them. I get it that, you know, well, there's crowds, well, there's people, well, it's open air, you know, I get it. There's all kinds of things that could stop me from going to watch my kid play ball. But I'll go. And again, remembering, you know, last week I talked about in vivo. You got to put yourself in every situation for at least 45 minutes. You know, you're going to stick it out. You're going to deal with it. The goal for doing that is the more you do it, the less it controls you. The more you subject yourself to something that you normally didn't, the less impact it's going to have on you, to the point where, okay, well, it's time to go to the ball game. Let's go. You know, there's a fair in town this weekend, carnival, whatever you want to call it, over at the Veterans Park. Great time to test some of this stuff. Great time to show your kids you love them. Show them that you care. Show them that you want to. You know, if you normally don't get out and take your kids to these events, this is a great opportunity for you. It's a great opportunity to take the first step for yourself, for your kids, you know, to show them that they are important. You know, your children are important to you, to themselves, to their friends, everything. You know, they're everything when it comes to, you know, your family, your life. You know, we have children because, you know, it's a product of our love for your spouse. And you need to nurture that and help it grow and help them to be all they can be. Don't help them to be able to get stuck where you are stuck. Okay, it doesn't help anybody. So the end of this thing here, the VA says that they have vet centers and some treatment programs that are inclusive. Well, this is Sierra Vista. The vet center here has one person. My wife went to it. They would only see her once a month. And then the individual that was seeing my wife had some issues and didn't show up for a couple months. So now they have another person that comes from Tucson once a month, once a week or whatnot to see individuals here in town. But you can't get a weekly appointment with them. Now I'm talking specifically to the significant others of veterans, the children of veterans or PTSD, the children of the traumatized individual, veterans today. They don't have the ability to get that type of treatment. It's not here. We're a healing center is getting that stuff set up. There are things here now where you can come and talk and communicate and, you know, speak to somebody. I know there's different types of therapies here. Not me, but other organizations in this building that are working with individuals. I have PTSD support group. I want to get that going again, where people come in here once a week. We sit down, caregivers, significant others, children. You know, sometimes, you know, we'll have a different group for the children. So depending on their age, sometimes it might not be appropriate to have conversations in front of little children that don't understand a whole lot. But if you've got teenagers that kind of understand what you're going through, these groups are perfect, because one, it shows them they're not alone. It shows you you're not alone. It shows the caregiver, significant other, you're not alone. It shows you we're all here to help you. We're all in this together. We didn't ask for our traumas. You didn't ask for your significant other to be traumatized. It happened. You didn't ask for that trauma to cause or create PTSD. It happened. But now that it's happened, we've got to work on it. We've got to get through it. As a team, we can do that. The Warrior Healing Center is a team of caring people, organizations of caring people. That's the point. The point is, I don't want to wait for the VA to decide that they need to create PTSD treatment groups for families and children along with the veteran. Because if I wait for that, I'll be dead. It just take too long for the political side of things to see that, you can't do marriage counseling with one individual. You need both partners. And that's kind of where they're at right now. They're trying to clap with one hand. It's not working. So the Warrior Healing Center is set up to do what the VA cannot do. Veterans helping veterans. Groups of real veterans dealing with real things in the community, as a community. So I would encourage you to come down to the Warrior Healing Center, 1838 Pedro San Luis, Sierra Vista. Veterans, come on down. Bagel and Brew, Thursdays, 9 o'clock. Bring your wife or significant other. Say hi. But I think I'll end it there. Did I have a quote for you? I was thinking about doing a quote after each session. When I was in the program, the 7-week program down at the Tucson VA, it was kind of cool because at the end of every night somebody read a quote. So I want to do that here. And this one comes from healthyplace.com. It says, this quote is, "The mind replays what the heart can't delete." Okay. Take that for whatever, but just know that our children are our children. We love them. We want to see the best for them. When you have an argument with your child, just think, what's it about? Is it really worth arguing about, especially with a child? If it's not, then get back focused on the mindfulness thing, the one-minded thing. My child is my child and I love him. Take that approach. If you love your child, then do something loving for them. And that starts by you getting some help for yourself, significant others. If you see these signs in your loved one suffering from PTSD, you need to love him enough to help him get the treatment he needs. At least get him talking to somebody. And then from there, healing begins. Lives begin to start making more sense. People begin to start breathing a little easier, not walking on eggshells all the time. Get that. I guess I'm done for today. I hope this helps. Find some more, things to do with your children. Like I said, the carnival's in town. Be a great time to go out, even if you just walk around. Eat some of the hot dogs and stuff there. Get a drink. Stay away from the beer garden. Just go over and get sodas and juices and stuff. It's about the kids. Take the kids to the carnival. Enjoy kid time at the carnival. Talk to you next week. Bye.
Listen up. Soap you shower with? You probably haven't even questioned what bar of soap you lather up with. Let's face it, most guys don't. They're still using whatever bar their mommy bought for her little man. Is that what you want? To smell like mama's little man? But now you can upgrade your shower game with Dr. Squat's natural soaps. I'm talking about next.
changing fast. dark, I see your crying eyes, turning red through the day. I share my mind with no censorship, hang it all out to dry. The teardrops hanging from your upper lip, clinging on, afraid to fly. And I wait for the night when I will hold you tight. Anybody in this state of mind, well, let it be, move along. A righteous heart from a darkened mind, spill it out in a song. And I wait for the night when I will hold you tight.
Cold hand, frozen feet, raindrops falling on the street. I can't recall when I last saw the sun. Summer's just a memory, a faded piece of history. No one can remember all the fun. The late night barbecue, zipping on a gin and juice. Cruising down the road, no thought getting old. The girls are hot, but the beer is cold. Yeah, that's the way we roll. Bathing in the sun, on the beach having fun. Whoa, righteous are the ones who's giving in. Oh, there's dropping angels everywhere. 'Cause the righteous are the ones who disappear. Inescapable. Soon you'll be back for more. I'm the last man getting lost. It's a feeling that is hard to face. Do we need a second chance? And a new second place. Never stop running, it's a battle in neon lights. And the further we're heading, there is always another fight. Is it something that we need to stay brighter? Is it something that we really need? In this fight, there will only be losers. And this city is too hot for me, so I'm going underground. I'm the last man getting lost. It's a feeling that is hard to face. Do we need a second chance? Do we need a second place? You never stop running, it's a battle in neon lights. And the further we're heading, there is always another fight. Is it something that we need to stay brighter? Is it something that we really need? In this fight, there will only be losers. And this city is too hot for me, so every day will get a little bit brighter. We'll be talking about liberty, and I will fight to the end 'cause I'm needed. Still, this city is too hot for me, so I'm going underground. When your life's been put on hold for far too long, when the sorrow and despair is growing strong, there is always something good to be obtained from breaking loose and leave the things that kept you chained. So when you
Hey, from the moment of my open eye, been looking for a guided light to lead me on my way. Yeah, lost, struggling to make the top. A slipping grip can't hold me up. It's the game of life we play. When everything comes crashing down behind your door, when I hear the sound, you say the word and I'll stay the night. You wouldn't text if you moved on. You wouldn't keep me in your phone unless you know that you were wrong. Now, from this moment rolling up, a speeding train can hold it up. You and I, we lost our way. You cheated light and ran away, and I got stuck with a knife in me, and this pain won't go away, but still. When everything comes crashing down behind your door, when I hear the sound, you say the word and I'll stay the night. You wouldn't text time. There is nothing we can do. Stop this plague from breaking through. Don't come now and waste my time. A generation of mankind. There is nothing we can do. Stop this plague from breaking through.
Somewhere I belong.
see it clearer now. I'm learning the path as I go. Everybody knows it's spoken on the radio. There is a truth in the lies. I dare to leave you twice. There's no tomorrow here. I feel I'm all out of time. So tell me you stay behind. Make sure I get to the end. I hope you can see in the dark. It only takes just a little spark. Fill up my head with the lights. Lighting the path as I go. Everybody knows it's spoken on the radio. There is a truth in the lies. I dare to leave you twice. There's no tomorrow here. Being out of the game for a long time. Not even a rhyme. A reason to stand by. Everybody sees that I'm on a bad side. It's all about to after invisible grounds. Don't know when to stop. Returning is not the way for me. Only a mile to go. Somewhere I belong. I see it clearer now. Feel I'm all out of time. So tell me you stay behind. Make sure I get to the end. grounds. Don't know when to stop. Returning, it's not the way for me. Only a mile to go. Somewhere I belong. I'll see it clearer now. I'm learning the path as I go. Everybody knows it's spoken on the radio. There is a truth in the lies. I didn't leave you twice. There's no tomorrow here. I feel I'm all out of time. So tell me you stay behind. Make sure I get to the end. I hope you can see in the dark. It only takes just a little spark. Fill up my head with the light. Lighting the path as I go. Everybody knows it's spoken on the radio. There is a truth in the lies. I didn't leave you twice. There's no tomorrow. We have been out of the game for a long time. Not even a rhyme, a reason to stand by. Everybody sees that I'm on a bad side. It's all about to off to invisible grounds. Don't know when to stop. Returning is not the way for me. Only a mile to go. Somewhere I belong. I'll see it clearer now. I feel I'm all out of time. So tell me you stay behind. Make sure I get to the end. time, a generation of my time. There is nothing we can do to stop this plague from breaking through. Don't come around and waste my time. A generation of my kind. There is nothing we can do to stop this plague from breaking through. When your life's been put on hold for far too long, when the sorrow and despair is growing strong, there is always something good to be obtained from breaking loose and leave the things that kept you chained. So when you find
10,000 feet, raindrops falling on the street. I can't recall when I last saw the sun. Summer's just a memory, a faded piece of history. No one can remember all the fun. The late night barbecue, zipping on a genie juice, cruising down the road, no thought of getting old. The girls are hot, but the beer is cold. Yeah, that's the way we roll, bathing in the sun, on the beach having fun. Whoa, these lazy days are never done. I work hard every day, don't waste my time on yesterday. I never shy away from a good time. Coming on Friday night, I see my friends and feel alright. There ain't no stopping us from having fun. There ain't no cloud in sight. The future is looking bright. Cruising down the road, no thought of getting old. The girls are hot, but the beer is cold. Yeah, that's the way we roll, bathing in the sun, on the beach having fun. Whoa, these lazy days are never done. Cruising down the road, no thought of getting old. The girls are hot, but the beer is cold. Yeah, that's the way we roll, bathing in the sun, on the beach having fun. Whoa, these lazy days are never. Hey, from the moment of my opened eye,
Been looking for a guided light to lead me on my way. Yeah, lost, struggling to make the top. A slipping grip can't hold me up. It's the game of life we play. When everything comes crashing down, be at your door when I hear the sound. You say the word and I'll stay the night. You wouldn't text if you moved on. You wouldn't keep me in your phone unless you knew that you were wrong. Now, from this moment rolling up, a speeding drink and hold it up. You and I, we lost our way. You cheated light and ran away, and I got stuck with a knife in me, and this pain won't go away, but still. When everything comes crashing down, be at your door when I hear the sound. You say the word and I'll stay the night. You wouldn't text if you moved on. You wouldn't keep me in your phone unless you knew that you were wrong. But I hold on, out of the frame, don't hold your breath. I'm used to the pain, but baby, don't forget. It's all fun and game until the final step. That's when you overstep. You know that I'm weak, you exploit that, yeah. I'm down on my knees when you place your bet. Keep telling myself it's the last of it, but I hold on. When everything comes crashing down, be at your door when I hear the sound. You say the word and I'll stay the night. You wouldn't text if you moved on. You wouldn't keep me in your phone unless you knew that you were wrong. But I hold on. I know as the daylight grows how I am supposed to feel, to make the same mistakes, to be part of something real. We walk, staying tall, suffer love I have to steal. With blinking eyes through a bad disguise, we move on to the appeal. And the times are changing fast. seconds gone before I realized I was out of my way. We sit and talk, I see your crying eyes turning red through the day. I share my mind with no censorship, hanging all out to dry. The teardrops hanging from your upper lip, clinging on, afraid to fly. And I wait for the night when I will hold you tight. Anybody in this state of mind will let it be and move along. A righteous heart from a darkened mind, spill it out in a song. And I wait for the night when I will hold you tight. Tell